Well, I have seen some pretty fascinating stuff underwater, and this was just super interesting to be a part of. Well, I started off by looking for some life. There wasn't a whole lot going on, so I was moving on down the shoreline with my camera when all of a sudden, boom, this bass cut me off. Now, this was a little different than your typical curiosity type of behavior where they, come up and are just curious with what is going on. This was very much different. It was aggressive, or felt very aggressive. I then decided to move a little bit, and then I came back towards this stick, and boom, this fish did it again. Well, I decided to follow him around a little bit, and he started to swim away and then kind of down, but he wouldn't go that far away. As a matter of fact, he wouldn't go below the 6-foot mark, and he wouldn't go past a certain radius or distance from this stick. So then I got to be thinking, do we have some pre-spawn behavior starting to happen here? When I got up towards this stick again, it happened again. If I backed off 5 times and then moved back up towards that stick and just waited, there they were, and they would come right up to it. I almost thought there was going to be some sort of physical altercation going on here, because they would just look this thing right in the eye. Well, then I started to scan around to see if I could find, a bed somewhere. Was the actual spawning process taking place? No beds anywhere. This fish that I was following along didn't have any of those telltale signs under their tail, like where they've been fanning anything off. So this was definitely before the actual bed or nesting process took place. Then as I kept filming, more bass started to show up. All of a sudden, this one here, which I'm assuming was a female, started to move into view, came right up to the camera as well. And the best that I could decipher is that there was 2 pairs, a total of 4 fish, and they were pretty territorial around this stick. So I don't know if they're both going to nest fairly close, if they're going to spread out, if they're trying to figure out which pair is going to get this particular spot, but they did not like an intruder here at all. Now, I don't know if they thought that this camera was another fish, another bass that was, coming into their spot, or what was going on, if they thought I wanted to get in on the party, or what was happening. But with all the filming that I've done before, this was really the first time when they were being territorial. Okay, curiosity happens all the time. We talk about it in this channel a lot. But this was definitely cutting the camera off the direction I was going, stopping it to try to get me to turn away or move away. Now, as far as what are some takeaways that we can gather from this, and make sure that you drop some of your own comments below, is these bass are never more than a few feet away from this spot. Now, we've all seen this behavior when there's a nest. There's an actual nest, there's a male guarding the nest, the spawning process is taking place, right? When we see that nest, we know that they're not that far away. This was before the nest building process. I didn't realize that they were going to be that territorial. And the second thing that I noticed was there was no prey, no bait fish anywhere at all. There was nothing in the shallows, and I started to do some investigating and went down deeper straight off of this particular stick here, and there was panfish all over the place down there. But it would have been real easy as a bass angler to come into this area and fish too deep, because these fish in this particular bay that maxes out that 10-foot, 11-foot mark would not go below that 6-foot mark. So if we didn't see them shallow, with our sunglasses as we're coming in, and we start to fish deeper, it'd been real easy to miss them. So it just goes to show how important it is to hit all of those different depth levels when you're trying to figure out what's going on. And hey, if you would like to watch a video that talks about where cold front bass go ahead and check this one out right here. And make sure that you go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.